Hey guys, welcome back to another Pokemon XY Wi-Fi battle. Today's battle is actually one of the toughest I've had in a long time. So my opponent is Max, and as you can see, he's got some big threats, mainly his Hydreigon. I know those things like to either be Choice Scarfed or Choice Spec, and of course the Sizzle, which is always a huge threat on anyone's team. Plus he's got some stally Pokemon like his Vaporeon and also his Heatran. So I'm pretty sure looking at his team, he's going to be probably leading off with his Shuckle. So sit back guys, enjoy this one. This one's a long ass battle and I really hope you enjoy it as much as I did. So let's get started. So I predicted he'll be leading off with his Shuckle, so I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to send out my Manectric, just so I can get a free Mega Evolution off on him. And obviously I'm not going to stay in because it's not a good matchup for me, so I'm just going to Mega Evolve and Volt Switch out of here. So I know the Shuckles, they like to set up their hazards, you know, Sticky Web, Stealth Rocks, things like that. So I get my Mega Evolution off and I Volt Switch out of there. And I'm going to take this opportunity to send up my Ferrothorn. So that way I can get a free Stealth Rocks up. So as I predicted, out goes the Sticky Web, so that's fine. My team isn't particularly speedy, so it's not going to be that much of an issue. I do get my rocks off and he actually goes for a knockoff, which is fine. I mean, he gets some Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet damage there. So Shuckle's down to about 40% health. I'm going to go ahead and set up my first layer of spikes, as he actually takes this opportunity to set up his Stealth Rocks. So seeing that I have spikes, he decides to switch out. And he switches out into his Hydreigon. So it's going to take some Stealth Rock damage there, and I actually managed to get my second layer of spikes out. So at this point I'm predicting a fire move, so I'm going to switch out my Ferrothorn and send in my Conkeldurr. So I don't know if I'm saying that right. So he is Assault Vested. So he makes a great prediction on his half. He actually goes for a Draco Meteor. So that was a great prediction. His Draco Meteor does connect. And even though I am Assault Vested, it takes me down to about 40% health. So that's fine, I'm happy to stay in. I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Drain Punch. However, he just decides to send in his Shuckle. Basically after the hazards, I'm only going to get about 2 or 3 HP back from this Drain Punch. But nevertheless, that's still a dead Pokemon, and that's 1 down and 5 to go. So at this point he resends out his Hydreigon, so I don't want to stay into this. I kind of want to preserve my Conkeldurr because I know it's going to be so good against this team, so I actually withdraw it. And then I go send out my Ferrothorn again, expecting a Draco Meteor. However, as you can see, he does another nice prediction and actually shoots off the Fire Blast. Unfortunately for him, he does miss it, so Ferrothorn lives to see another day. I'm going to go send out my Arcanine now just to tank another Fire Blast. So he uses Fire Blast. It does connect this time and doesn't do that much damage. So the fact that he withdrew now pretty much tells me he's either Specked or Scarfed. So he sends out his Vaporeon now, which is probably his most stalliest Pokemon on the team. And I actually switch out predicting a Heatran, but he does send out his Vaporeon. So at this point, I'm pretty happy with this matchup. I'm just going to go ahead and keep clicking Drain Punch. So he's going to protect and get some more leftovers recovery. So at this point I'm very happy to stay in. I know there's not much he can do to me, so he actually goes for a Scald. possibly fishing for a burn, and I just go for the Drain Punch. And this is one of the rare opportunities where I would actually prefer getting burned, because he does have the Guts ability, so that's going to raise my attack. So as you can see, he is fishing for the burn. He goes for another Scald, and he doesn't get the burn, and I just go for another Drain Punch. And at this point, he pretty much realizes that there's nothing much he can do to me. So he's just going to try Storm me out now. So he uses Protect to get another round of Leftovers recovery. So at this point he reveals that he does have the Wish, which is fine. I just go for another Drain Punch, and I don't know if I got a max roll there, but it's able to finally take him out, and I'm back to about 60% health. So at this point, you know, I'm looking pretty good. I'm still in good shape. So he sends out his Hydreigon here, and I'm happy to stay in. Unfortunately for him, he actually over predicts and does a U-turn. So I don't know why he did a U-turn. He could have maybe sent out another Pokemon, but anyway, he sends out his Sizzle, and he's going to take Stealth Rock and 2 layers of Spikes damage, plus the Drain Punch. So at this point I'm almost at full health, and unfortunately for me, I actually forgot about the Wish, and that activates now, taking Sizzle back to pretty much 95%, maybe more. So I'm going to go ahead and withdraw and send out my Manectric just to get that Intimidate off. So he's going to go for a knockoff, and even after that Intimidate, it does way too much damage. So I'm assuming he's a Choice Banded Sizzle. So I wasn't going to stay into Sizzle anyway. I was expecting a switch, and he does actually switch and sends out his Heatran, and I'm going to go ahead and pivot and use Volt Switch. So the advantage of that is I'm actually able to pop his Air Balloon and send out the appropriate matchup. And now, because Heatran's Air Balloon is popped, all his switches he'll be able to take the Spikes damage, which is great. So he does decide to switch out his Heatran and send out his Sableye, which is a good counter for me. So he takes the hazards, and I go for a Drain Punch, and obviously it's not going to affect the Ghost type. And he's actually going to go off and knock off my Assault Vest. So the reason I think he did that is solely because he wants his Hydreigon to come and finish it off. I go ahead and knock off his Citrus Berry, and he just goes ahead and recovers. So at this point I'm hoping he burns me. So if he does manage to burn me, that's pretty much him sealing his fate. So there he is there, he pops off the Will-O-Wisp, he does get the burn, and I couldn't be more happier because now my attack has increased. So as I said, him burning me pretty much made the game GG. So he's got no more counters for my Conkeldurr, so he sends out his Heatran, and after the Stealth Rock and Spikes damage, there's absolutely no way he can survive a priority Mach Punch with Guts Boost. So Heatran goes down. And here comes his Sizzle. So I decided to conserve him because I didn't want to get the Bullet Punch, plus I have an Arcanine in the background, so I'm going to go ahead and get the Intimidate off first. So he gets some Rocky Helmet damage, And he's going to go ahead and bullet punch again. And he's going to take out my Arcanine, which is fine, but he's going to also get some Rocky Helmet damage as well. So at this point, I'm going to send out my Manectric to get off another Intimidate. So at this point, I pretty much over-predict. I thought he was going to switch into his Hydreigon, so I go for a Hidden Power Ice, as he does go for a Bullet Punch. So I did over-predict. Here comes the Hidden Power Ice, does absolutely nothing to a Scizor, and he just goes for another Bullet Punch. Luckily, due to the 2 Intimidates, I am able to survive that and just pop off a Flamethrower. And Scizor is finally gone. And he's down to Hydreigon now. I think is his last Pokemon. Takes a bit of a Stealth Rock damage, and he's obviously able to outspeed me because he is Choice Scarf, plus the Sticky Webs. And at this point, I'm pretty much able to send out the MPV of this battle and just Mach Punch him. And that's the battle, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed it. He was a very tough opponent. Shout out to Max, thank you very much for the battle, mate, and rematch anytime. So thanks for watching, guys, and look forward to the next upload.